Lifestyle factor 1, smoking. There are over 4,000 dangerous chemicals in a cigarette. The most obvious two are nicotine and tar. Nicotine is the addictive part of the cigarette, and tar is the dangerous part, which has a build-up on your lungs, affecting your breathing and causing lung cancer. Research shows that 2/3 of people start smoking before they are even 18. 200,000 children start between the ages of 11 to 15. 21% of women and 27% of men quit smoking. There is 100,000 deaths in the UK per year due to smoking, and 3,000 to 5,000 deaths per year due to passive smoking, whereas you're not actually smoking, it's people around you and you exhale their smoke. There's lots of many different reasons for people smoking. For example, peer pressure is one. So if you've got a group of friends which all smoke, you sometimes feel the need to smoke to fit in and to look cool, and they might pressure you into doing it because you're the odd one out. Addiction, obviously some people just have one cigarette, they might be curious to have a cigarette, they have one, and then they get addicted and there's nothing they can do. They try to stop and they just can't. Stress. Some people think it's a good way to deal with stress. They have cigarettes to take stuff off their mind, and some people think it relaxes them. Family. Some people might be brought up from day one in a smoking household where everyone may smoke, and they just might not know any different, and they just assume that it's normal to smoke. And social. Some people are only social smokers, so they smoke when they go out with friends and they're drinking and stuff like that. There's lots of consequences for smoking. The main one is cancer. It can also damage your bones, make them brittle. There's a lot of appearance problems as well. Your fingernails can go yellow, your teeth can go yellow, you have a horrible smell. It can also lead to heart problems like heart disease, heart attacks, high blood pressure. Also, it can lead to impaired vision, where all the smoke's going into your eyes, and it can reduce your fertility and affect other people around you. There's many different ways that people try and use to stop smoking, different strategies. The NHS always are trying to help people stop. They give out free quit packets with like nicotine gum and nicotine patches. Some people, it's like they need to sit down with someone and explain the consequences and what smoking is doing to their body, and that makes them realise what they're actually doing to themselves. Some people even write down their ideas, even if they want to cut back 2 or 3 a day, or even 1 a day. However fast or slow they want to do it, they write down their goals. For instance, I want to have 1 less cigarette today, then 1 less the next day, and people find it better by doing it that way. And some people even change their diet. It's been proven that some meals make smoking taste nicer and some make it taste horrible. So some people have like stopped having the meat and the steak and the nice food and changed their diet to more vegetables and vegetarian meals to make them cut down on smoking. And the final one is exercise. People do a lot of exercise to stop smoking, so it takes their mind off things and they're constantly busy, so they are not thinking about it. Although people use exercise to try and stop smoking, smoking can have a huge effect on exercise. It makes you out of breath more easily because there's not as much oxygen getting to your body because your lungs are getting blocked by all the tar. It narrows your arteries, so there's less blood getting to your muscles, so that means there's less oxygen, so you won't have enough energy to be able to perform movements. Lifestyle factor 2, alcohol. The definition of alcohol is a colourless, volatile, flammable liquid which is the intoxicating constituents of wine, beer, spirits and other drinks. There are a lot of reasons why people drink. One is peer pressure. They might be out of a group of friends and there might be everyone drinking and they might feel left out and pressured into drinking. Some people are just curious to try it. Addiction, some people get addicted to alcohol, like alcoholics, and they have so much alcohol they just can't stop themselves, kind of like the nicotine in smoking. Some people do it to relax. They might have had a hard day at work, they come back, sit down with their dinner, they might have a glass of wine or something. And similar to that, people drink to deal with stress, but sometimes it can lead to becoming an alcoholic. Celebration, that's one of the main reasons for people smoking, to celebrate something that's happened, like parties, birthdays, for example. And to socialise easier. Some people feel they have more confidence and it's easier for them to socialise when they've had a few drinks, so that's why people drink socially. The recommended daily allowance for men is 3 to 4 units a day, and it's 2 to 3 units a day for women. 4 or more drinks for a woman, though, is in one sitting is classed as excessive drinking, which is also known as binge drinking. And 8 or more units for men in one sitting is also known as excessive drinking, which is binge drinking. There are different factors which affect the amount of alcohol that has influence on people. For example, if you've got a higher body weight, you may have to drink more to be able to get yourself drunk and under the influence of alcohol. What you eat and the amount you eat whilst and before drinking. So if you eat a big meal before you go out drinking, it will absorb a lot of the alcohol and you'll have to drink more to have any effect. And research shows that it's thoughts and expectations. Maybe what you imagine and what you think will happen whilst you're drunk is what may actually turn out happening. Alcohol has a lot of effects on performance. It diminishes protein synthesis, resulting in decrease in muscle build. Stops ATP production, which is your muscle source of energy. ATP provides energy necessary for your muscles to contract. Alcohol decreases your reaction time, and it decreases your balance and coordination, which all of these factors have a huge effect on how you perform as an athlete. Statistics. The amount of alcohol-related death in the world this year up until today's date is 1,819,872. Alcohol misuse costs England approximately £21 billion per year in health, crime and productivity costs. Alcohol is 45% more affordable than it was in the 1980s, which may be a reason why alcohol levels have increased and why there's a lot more people drinking, a lot more problems, because it's a lot cheaper now. It is estimated that 2.6 million children in the UK are living with parents who are drinking hazardly, and 705,000 children living with dependent drinkers. Alcohol is a causal factor in more than 60 medical conditions, including mouth, throat, stomach, liver and breast cancers, high blood pressure, and can lead to depression. Factor 3, diet. A balanced healthy diet consists of 55% carbohydrates, 30% protein and 15% fats and sugars. The recommended daily allowance for calories per day is 2,000 calories per day for women and 2,500 calories per day for men. Although it depends on your activity levels for the amount of calories you are having. So if you're doing more exercise, you need to eat more because you're constantly burning calories off. Some people diet because it makes them feel good, because they look good in themselves, it improves their self-esteem. They also do it as kind of an intrinsic reward. they can see to themselves that they've actually accomplished something, which also makes them feel good about themselves. It's often because of the line of work. If you're a personal trainer and you're trying to train someone up to be a good athlete, telling them to do this exercise and eat these kind of foods, and you're not fit and healthy yourself, a lot of people won't listen to you as much as you would a fit personal trainer. There's lots of people that don't diet, and the reasons are because laziness. They can't be bothered to make good meals. They'd rather just grab a takeaway or grab something easy to make, and the easy and the nicer food tends to be the more unhealthy food. Lifestyle. They might have a bad lifestyle. They might drink, smoke, not sleep well, not have a very good well-being, and they might just not care, and they just eat what they want. Family, they might not have time to fit it all in. They might have 4 or 5 children, and they might work the day, and time they come back and cook a big meal that's balanced for everyone, they just won't have enough hours, so that's often why they get the rubbish food. And work. Some people are workaholics. They work so much they even skip meals to make sure that their work is completed. Lifestyle factor 4, obesity. You are classed to be obese if you have a very high body fat percentage or are very overweight. The way that BMI is calculated is through body mass index charts. If you have a BMI between 30 and 40, you're classed as obese, and exceeding 40, you're classed as very obese. The way BMI is calculated is your weight in kilograms divided by your height in meters squared. There are many problems which being obese can have to your health, can affect your health. Diabetes is one, heart disease, high blood pressure, arthritis, indigestion, gallstones, snoring and problems sleeping, and it can also make you infertile. The most common reason for obesity is lack of exercise and eating too many calories, but also bad lifestyle can play a big part. If you're a very unsocial person, you don't leave the house much and you just sit around eating, and lack of exercise, that can lead to obesity. Stress and your emotions. Some people find when they're stressed or they're bored that all they do to stop that is to eat, and then people get very depressed about their weight and just keep eating more and more instead of doing something about it. And some people, it's just hereditary. It might run in the family and they just might be unlucky. Some experts believe that the scale of obesity is getting very bad, and they are classing it, saying there is more ill health from obesity than there is smoking in some cases. The number of people obese in the UK has trebled in the last 25 years. In 2011, 24% of women were obese and 26% of men were obese. Between 2011 and 2012, 9.5% of 4 to 5-year-olds were classed as obese. And during 2011-2012, 11,736 hospital admissions were because of obesity.